A common way to make bass loops in drum and bass is to take a folder full of bass one-shots, which are just a collection of random bass sounds, maybe something like this, and simply manually arrange this in the project file into some form of riff or bass melody. Now, that may sound pretty simple, but it's actually a nuanced workflow technique that's incredibly useful. A large number of drum and bass producers use this technique, including Noisia. And the reason for this is the process of sound design, or making random little bass sounds, is a separate thing to arranging a riff or a musical melody, so it can be useful to separate the two processes. For example, what Noisia do is spend some sessions purely making sounds or having a sound design session, not knowing what the sounds might be used for at a later date, and as a result, from every session there's a folder or a handful of folders full of random interesting bass sounds. And then when they're in a more creative songwriting sort of mood, they can go into those folders that they made on a previous day and arrange all those interesting ideas. I suppose this is more of a workflow than a technique, but it's incredibly effective. Let me show you how that might look. So I have a folder here of random little distorted bass one-shots. And I'll go through, choose some sounds I like, and then try and find some form of arrangement for them into a bass loop. That one's cool. As is that one. And that one. Can probably find a use for that. And that one. So 5 little noises here. And I'll try and find some form of arrangement for them. I'll just make sure that Ableton, Ableton has warped some, so I'll turn off the warping. Like so, and to be honest, it's pretty much trial and error to get this arrangement just so. Naturally, the more you do this, the more drum and bass you listen to, the quicker you can guess a useful arrangement for these little guys. So I think I will move these over here. Of course, because there are no drums, it's hard to tell for certain if the modulation pattern you're creating will work well, but from my experience, pretty much any modulation pattern can be cool if you find the right drums. So to some extent, it doesn't matter too much what your bass loop sounds like. If you just create a bass loop, save it, there'll be some drums somewhere that will work with it. Maybe a bit of that. That's a cool little bit of something. In fact, yes, that's a nice little bit of something there. I can actually put that one there. And in fact, I can bounce this down to one little bass loop nice and quickly. Command J to consolidate in Ableton, or alternatively, you could do right-click consolidate. Just writes it out as a brand new audio clip. And there you go, a nice aggressive little bass loop for drum and bass. Just for fun, I'm going to make another one too using this little sound. I think I'll start it there, just adjusting the start point of this sample, like so. Or maybe a bit of that duplicated. Ah, perfect, look at that. So it's a bit of trial and error, but eventually something cool pops out. Ah, perfect. So I'm going to delete that channel and bounce out that to audio as well as a brand new bass loop. So Command J, or I'll do it the manual way, right click, consolidate, and it's written out as a fresh bass loop, as a fresh audio file. Lovely stuff. And just like that, I've created two different bass loops for two different styles of drum and bass. What I would then do as a workflow technique is save these to my hard drive so I can access them at a later date when I'm actually writing a proper song. And that's the idea. Thanks for watching.